will discuss very important topic, that is what is difference between variable of class, instance of class, and reference of a class. We will discuss this is very important and confusing topic. So we will discuss one by one what is the variable of class, instance of class, and reference of class. First, we will discuss about class. What is class? Class is class. It's a user defined type. User defined type. Okay. What does it mean by user defined type? Suppose we have a string. What is string? String is a data type, and class is also used to create user defined data type. And a string like that, string is a data type that is not born, that is developed as a class, that is that is predefined class in our libraries. Okay, this is class that is developed as a class in our libraries. This is predefined class. Okay, and how to access? Suppose we have a string data type. Okay, when the memory is allocated for the string data, like class is a blueprint, and string is also a class. So to access, or to when the memory is allocated, suppose we have defined a user defined data type, then to access that user defined data type, we need to create a copy of that class. We need to create the copy of that class. Okay, this the class keyword is used to create a user defined type, and that defined type we can't directly access. We need to create or make the copy of that class. Suppose we have a string. Okay, then in the string we can't assign like that hello. We can't assign like that hello. We need to create the copy. This is invalid. This is invalid. This is invalid. To access or to allocate the memory, just we create the copy of the class. This is a predefined class. This string is a predefined class in the library, and we need to create the copy of the class. Okay, we need to create the copy of the class to access or to work, because class is a blueprint. There is no physical existence, there is no memory. So we need to access that. We need to create instance. We need to create instance. We need to make a copy. We need to make a copy. That means we need to create an instance. Currently, to a string, we need to access. We need to make the copy of the class S. S is the copy of the string type class. So here we can assign hello. This is valid. This is valid. We need to make the copy of the class. Okay, the string is a class, and using a variable, using yes, here yes is the copy of that string class. Okay, the memory is allocated, and here we can assign the value. Okay, like that. We can't assign the value in directly integer. Integer is a data type. Integer is a data type. To use this data type, we need to make the copy of this data type. Now we can access like this. This I is the copy of integer type. Here we can assign integer type value in I. Okay. Practically we will see, suppose we have a variable int x, okay, and here console dot write line. Now I want to directly access this one, console dot read line, and just run it. What happened? And an object reference is required for the non-static field method or property. Okay, object or reference. Object reference is required to non-static. This is non-static member. Okay, this is non-static member. Without static modifier, that is all treated as non-static member. This integer int x is non-static member. So we can't access directly non-static member in a static block. Main is a static block, so we can't access non-static members in a static block. So what we need to do, we need to create the instance of the class. We need to create the instance program p program p equal to new program, and now we can access p dot x. Now we can access, suppose we have assigned value here 10, and now run this one. Then it will print 10. Okay, now what happening? Without creating the instance of the class, we can't access this x. Okay, this x is a class variable, so we need to access this x. We need to create the instance of the class, and here program, this program is a class, and this is a user defined data type. This program is user defined data type. Okay, and using new keyword, we can create the instance of the class. Here, like that we have discussed, here this is a class, and this is the copy of the s. Here s is the copy of the string class. Okay, like that. Here program is a class, and p is the copy of the program class. Okay, p is the copy of the program class. So we create the copy of the program class, and now we can access x. Here we need, if we to create the instance of a particular class, we need to keyword, we need to use new keyword. Using new keyword, we can create the instance of the class. Okay, and what happening in the first case, without creating like that, when we accessing, suppose we are accessing like that. Here this is the program, and program is a class, and this p is the copy of the program class. P is the copy. Okay, and when we are accessing this p dot x, then what happen? Not accessible. Use of unassigned local variable p. Okay, p is p is uninitialized. P here, p is the copy of the program. P is the copy of the program, but p is uninitialized. P is uninitialized. P is here. P is called variable. Variable. P is called variable. Okay, and suppose we do like this. Here P is a variable of class, and here P is variable of class, and here P is instance of class. Instance of class. Here P is variable of class, means uninitialized. Okay, and here P is the instance of class. Finally, the program class instance is created, and now we can access p dot x. But in the first line, this p is the variable or class that is uninitialized. Here p is initialized, so it is called an instance of class. Okay, p is instance of class here because it is initialized. And how it is initialized? Using the new keyword. Okay, so what we can variable of a class, it is it is it is a copy of class which is not which is which is not initialized. It is variable means it is a copy of class which is not initialized. Here you can see in the example p is the copy of the program class, and here p is variable of class. That is why we call the variable of class, because p is not initialized. So what is the variable of a class? It is a copy of the class which is not initialized. Means variable means copy of the class but not initialized. Like we just create the copy of the class program. This is the class name, and the p is the copy of the program class, but p is not initialized in this line. So here p is the variable of a class. So you can write here it is a copy of class which is not initialized. And what is the instance? What is the instance? It is a copy of class. It is a copy of class which is initialized by new keyword, which is initialized by new keyword. Instance means it is a copy of class. It is a copy of class which is initialized by new keyword. Okay, the new keyword is used to create the instance and initialize the members of a class. Okay, using new keyword. It is a copy of class which is initialized by new keyword. Okay, we can see the reference also. First we clear this one. P is variable of a class, and here P is instance of a class. Instance can be created using new keyword. Okay, without new keyword we can't create the instance. And when the instance is created, then all the data members initialized. Constructor is called. All the data members are initialized of a class. Okay, so finally the p is instance, constructor is called, default constructor is called, and p instance of p is initialized. P is the instance of the class program. So we can access here p dot x, and just remove this one and I want to show another thing. Program program P1 equal to new program and program P2 equal to new program. What happened? Just we are printing P1.x and P2 P1.x P2.x. I want to clarify each and every instance. Here P is instance, P1 is instance and P2 is also instance because we are just creating instance using the new keyword. Here we are using the new keyword, so P1 is instance. Here also we are creating the instance using new keyword. This P2 is also instance. P1 and P2 both are instance. Okay, and instance, in each and every instance we made the separate copy of the class. Okay, so p1.x have separate copy, p2.x have separate copy. Currently we have x value, that is 10, so 10 is printed. 10 is printed, but I will prove how these are separate copy. Suppose here p1.x equal to 20, I have initialized and printed this one. And currently p1.x, p1.x means this value is different and this value is different because I have modified p1.x. 20 and 20, 10. Okay, that's why we can say this p1 and p2 both maintaining the separate copy of x. When I modify the p1x, that means p1x is 20 and p2x is 10, then 20 and 10 is printed. Okay, each and every instance maintain the separate copy of the particular class. You understand by the what is the variable of a class? It is a copy of class which is not initialized, and directly we can't call the any member of a suppose we have declared like that, and p1 is a class variable. P1 is a class variable, program class variable, or we can say p1 is a copy of program class. Okay, but p1, using p1 we can't call x because p1 is uninitialized. This is a variable and uninitialized. Okay, if to initialize we need to create the instance using new keyword. Using new keyword we need to create the instance to initialize the data members. Okay, so here p1 is a variable of class program or copy of the class program. This is variable. Okay, and here p1 and p2 both are instance because it is initialized using new keyword. Okay, it is copy of the class which is initialized by new keyword. And what is the reference? What is the reference? Each and every instance maintain the separate copy also, you know. Okay, then we will know what is a reference. Reference, that means we have created program program p2 equal to p1. Okay, this p1, currently here P1, P1 is a here P1 is a copy of the program class that is initialized using new keyword. So that's why it is called instance. Why it is called instance? Because it is initialized by the new keyword. We have created the instance using new keyword. So here initialization and declaration both happened. Here suppose we have program and PRR like that. We have declaration. Here PRR is a variable. Okay. And now PRR equal to new program. That is, this is the declaration and this is the initialization. Okay. This is the declaration and this is the initialization. Here PRR is called variable of a class program or a copy of class program. This is PRR is a variable that is uninitialized. This is not initialized. And here PRR is initialized using new keyword. We created the instance. We have initialized this one. So here PRR is called instance and here PRR is called variable. Okay. And here declaration and initialization both are done in a single line. Okay. So P1 currently P1 is initialized using new keyword. We are creating the instance of the program class that is P1 and that is initialized by the new keyword. So P1 is a here P1 is a instance. Okay, you understand the variable and instance. Variable of a class, it is a copy of class which is not initialized. Okay, and instance of class, it is a copy of class which is initialized by new keyword. And what is the reference? Now reference, that means here reference. Reference, that means reference is nothing. Reference is a copy. Reference is a copy of a particular class, but it is initialized by existing instance. Okay, it is initialized by existing instance. This is P1 is the existing instance and that is initialized, that is using the existing instance we have initialized. P2 is initialized by existing instance P1. Okay, so here P2 is called a reference. Reference of class, or it is called pointer. Pointer for existing instance. This P2 is initialized by existing instance. So P2 have no memory. P2 have no memory. It's referring, it's pointing to existing memory, whatever P1 have. Suppose P1 here P1 we have x, that is x equal to 10, and when we create the instance of the program class that is P1, then that x is initialized by 10. Okay, and that 10 also pointing by the P2 because P2 is the reference of the class or pointer to call existing instance, that is P2. P1 existing instance, that is P1, and this P2 is referring to this instance. So P2 is also both are sharing the same memory that is created, that is pointing by the P1. Okay, both are pointing to same X. Okay, P1 is instance. In the particular instance, we have a separate copy of X, and that have initialized by the value 10, and that value 10 is pointing by the P2 and P1 both. So P1 x, P1 dot x and P2 dot x both have 10. When we run, then both have 10 comma 10, 10, 10 space 10. Okay, both pointing the same memory. When we have initial or when we have changed here, suppose P2 dot x equal to 30, because both are pointing to the same memory, then either we change P1 dot x or P2 dot x. We have initialized by 30 P2 dot x. Then the same memory is whatever x value previously x value have 10, that is modified to 30. So both are P1 and P2 both are pointing to the same memory location. So P1 and P2 both have the same value 30 and 30 currently. That's proof that both are pointing to the same memory. Okay, and here we can say that a reference of a class means it is a copy of, it is pointing to existing instance, or it is a pointer to pointer to different different instance. It is a pointer to different instance. Also it is called as, it is made to point existing instance. It has it has no own memory. It has no own memory. It points different memory. Okay, this is the reference of a class. Okay, variable of class and instance of class and reference of class. That is done. Okay, that's all. Thank you.